Fun isn't something one considers when balancing the universe. But this does put a smile on my face.
That's Thanos, the main villain in Avengers Infinity War, and he's putting a smile on moviegoers' faces. Marvel executives are probably smiling after this weekend, too. Avengers Infinity War, the newest star-studded, action-packed blockbuster, is sweeping movie theaters. Avengers Infinity War came out last weekend and is already shattering box office records. The Marvel franchise made $258 million over the weekend, making it the biggest domestic opening of all time. The film also earned the biggest ever worldwide opening, bringing in $640 million. That beats the previous record holder, last year's The Fate of the Furious, by $100 million. Joining me from the movie capital of the world, Los Angeles, to talk about Infinity War's success and other movies coming out is Grae Drake, senior editor for Rotten Tomatoes. Grae, thank you for joining me. A disclaimer, I did not get to see Infinity War, so no spoilers. I'm going to see it this weekend. But let's start with what is now the Super Bowl of superhero movies, Avengers Infinity War. What drove this film's success at the box office over the weekend?
You know, the biggest thing that drove this thing's success is 10 years of investment from Marvel Studios, because when Iron Man came out in 2008, it was a huge gamble for them. They didn't even really, as legend has it, want Robert Downey Jr. to play that role, but he did, and he ended up building what we saw this last weekend. It was unbelievable. This is $640 million worldwide. It's like mind-boggling.
Yeah, I cannot wait to go see it. And I saw there, we saw Black Panther. Did Black Panther set the stage for this movie?
It absolutely did. Black Panther was another gigantic success for Marvel. Over $200 million in its opening weekend, which was gigantic. It put it in the top 5 of all-time weekends, I believe. And so the enthusiasm for that really unique story, that exciting character, all those fantastic side characters, and the wonderful movie, I should say the marvelous movie, get it? It really got people fired up. Like, they were so pumped because they wanted to see not only Black Panther, but also literally almost every other superhero Marvel has set up.
Do I need to see Black Panther first before I see Infinity War? Because I actually haven't seen Black Panther either, and I know I'm being very bad right now. I'm getting some really major side-eye from my floor director right now. Sorry, go ahead.
No, listen, you should treat yourself because it's a great movie. You're not going to be in the dark. It's not rocket science. You're going to figure it out.
Okay.
But if you see Black Panther, it is a really good lead-in, as is Civil War. So if you haven't seen that one, those are the two really good ones leading into Infinity War that'll help give you some context.
So Disney actually moved Avengers' release date up 1 week. What is the strategy behind that?
Well, we have a lot of things coming out in May, and I think that Marvel wanted to clear its path and give itself a couple really solid weekends of box office gross. Because, I think we can call it that this is going to be #1 this coming weekend as well. And then it might drop off just a little bit because we've got other superheroes that really want their piece.
So staying with superheroes, Deadpool 2 comes out May 18th. When the first action comedy came out a little over a year ago, it broke records for an R-rated release. Should we expect the same enthusiasm for the sequel?
Absolutely. The first movie was so good. It was so true to the character. It was R-rated. It was fantastic. So for everybody that loved Deadpool and loves chimichangas, you fans know what I'm talking about. They were so pumped to see that movie. I was one of them, and I'm really jazzed to see this one. But you know, the link between Infinity War and Deadpool is Josh Brolin, who is in both films, which is crazy to think about.
It is crazy. Well, let's talk about the second major franchise movie out this summer, Solo, a Star Wars story, the movie about Han Solo's origins. Will the Force be with that movie?
I think so, because it's a Star Wars movie, but there's a but here. I think that they might be experiencing just the slightest bit of Star Wars fatigue, because The Last Jedi opened just, 5 months ago in December, and it wasn't the best regarded movie by the fans, okay? It had an exceptionally low audience score over on Rotten Tomatoes, even though the critics loved it. And so I think that's going to make it a little bit harder for Solo to have the same success that the other Star Wars movies have experienced.
All right. I'm going to see Infinity War, Grae. I promise. Next time we speak, I will have seen it. Grae Drake, thank you so much.
You got it.